Hey everyone, and welcome to Safe Moves, Happy Knees. Today we're going to be spending the next 20 to 25 minutes or so working on mostly our hips and our ankles, getting them aligned so our knees stay happy throughout the day. Today we're going to start standing, so when you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. There may be a little balance involved here, so if you want to stand next to like your sofa or a wall, just something that you can place your hand on to help stabilize you, definitely feel free to do so. All right, before we begin moving anything, I just want you to look down at your knees and just notice anything about them. Notice if your kneecaps are pointing more in, if they're pointing more out, or if they're reaching right through center, right towards the wall in front of you. So ideally, we do want them pointing straight in front of us, but that takes a little bit of work. So go ahead and lift and spread all 10 toes, and then lower them down. And then lift and spread all 10 toes, and lower them down. And just keep going with that. Try to spread your toes wide while you lift them. And then look forward or close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just look anywhere but at your feet. And I want you to see, where do you feel this? Focus really, really in so you can notice all the little subtle muscular engagements in your legs. See if you can feel it all the way up your lower leg. See if you can feel it even in your upper legs. Two more times. And then you can rest your toes down. All right, now we're going to shift our weight forward onto the balls of our feet, and we're going to lift the heels straight up. And then as we come down, we're going to try to land straight down in the center of the heel. So again, shift forward, lift straight up, and come on down. Now you've got the movement. Now I want you to try to minimize that shifting of your weight back and forth as much as you can. There will be a little bit, but try to minimize it. As you're doing this now, notice where you're feeling it in your legs, your feet, your ankles. Notice what muscles are working to keep you upright and stable. And then to make this even harder, we're going to do it just on one foot. So pick your right foot up, and up you go on that left foot, the balls of the toes, and then down on your left heel. And lift up, and come back down. Trying to lift your heel straight up, trying to land it straight down. And then let's try the other side. Notice if this side is the same or more challenging. And last time. Good. All right, just going to prance those feet out a little bit. All right, you're probably not going to need anything to help you balance, so you can step away from your wall if you need to. All right, pretend your feet are crazy glued on the floor. They're not going to move no matter how much you try to slide them or pick them up or do anything. They're not going to move. I want you to now try to slide your feet away from you. So we're sliding them out across the mat, across the room. Ready? Go. And just notice what muscles are engaging in your legs. Look down and notice what your kneecaps are doing. Are they pointing forward? Are they pointing in? Are they pointing out? And then release. Now I want you to try to squeeze your feet in towards each other. And once again, notice where your kneecaps go. And then release. Left leg is going to press forward. Right leg is going to press backward. It's like you're frozen in time while you're cross-country skiing. And then switch it. And then switch again. So left foot forward, right leg back. And then switch it again. All right, and now rest. All right, I want you one more time. Press the legs away from you. And then having that sense of being able to isometrically press in all different directions, I want you to do what you need to do in order to get your kneecaps pointing straight forward. So you might be pressing out with the front parts of your feet and in with the bottom parts of or the heel parts of your feet. You might be doing something on one side and not the other side. Just try to do whatever you can to get those kneecaps pointing forward. Hold it there. And then rest. All right, let's bend those knees, prance out those feet a little bit. And come on down to your back. All right, hold on behind your right thigh and just bring that right leg up towards the ceiling. You don't have to stretch it long. You can definitely keep that gentle bend in your knee. And we'll do some footwork here. So flex your right foot, then press your right foot, then point your right foot. Back to your press, back to your flex. Keep moving between those 3 stretches and just notice how it changes all the way up your leg. And while you're there, glance down at your kneecap and try to keep it aligned right down the your shin bone, right through the center of your ankle, right out the second toe. So there's a direct line from kneecap out the toe. And then the next time you're in that pressed position, try to spread your toes and circle your ankle. Circle your ankle and your foot. Your leg stays still. And reverse it. And then bend your right knee and shake your foot out. Go ahead and place your right foot on the floor. Let's do the same thing over on the left side. So support that left leg. And then try to get a pretty straight route from your kneecap, down your shin bone, down the center of your ankle, and out your second toe. As you flex, press, and point. And then the next time you're in that pressed position, keep it there, spread your toes, and circle this ankle. Reverse it. And then bend your knee and shake it out. Okay, left foot to the floor, right foot back up. And let's write our numbers 1 through 10 with our big toe. So if you haven't done this before, just imagine you have a pencil point on the top on your big toe. Try to keep your leg as still as possible. Write your numbers in the air. So 1, 2, it's not easy, 3, keep going. Again, trying to keep that leg as still as you can. Just the ankle and the foot get to move. And when you're done, shake it out again. And let's do the left side. When you're done with the left foot, go ahead and shake it out. And place that foot back down on the floor, right next to the right, or about hip distance apart. All right, so those ankles should feel pretty good, but we're going to try to fatigue them a little bit more. So pick the fronts of your feet up, so the balls of your toes and your pinky toes, and then angle them out, place them down. Pick your heels up, angle them out, place them down. Toes out, heels out, toes out, heels out, toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in. Keep going out and in. And really try to pick up the speed. You want to go as fast as you can. Even if you're not getting it perfect, just keep moving. Go fast, fast, fast. And you should start feeling a good burn in your ankles. They should be starting to get tired. Next time your feet are wide, you can stay wide. All right, stay in communication with your knees because this class is all about them. We want to maintain their good mood. We're going to bring the left knee in towards the midline and just bring that knee down as close to the floor as it wants to go. If you can get it all the way down to the floor, great. You can absolutely let your left hip come up with it. You'll get a nice spiraling stretch in that left leg. You'll get a nice little twist in your lower spine. And then bring that left kneecap up so it's pointing straight towards the ceiling. Keep it pointing straight up towards the ceiling. So we're not going to let the left knee go out to the left side. We're keeping it up straight. Right knee drops in. This knee might have different feelings, so stay in communication with it. Drop it in. And then bring the right kneecap up so it's pointing straight up at the ceiling. Keep it there. Drop your left knee back in. And left knee up, right knee in. And now you can go a little bit quicker side to side, and you can let the non-stretching side move open and out a little bit, so it's more of a sort of windshield wiper feeling. So your kneecap doesn't have to point straight up towards the ceiling anymore. Just go side to side, trying to get your knees down towards the floor as best you can. And then come back to center, walk your feet in so they're about hips distance apart and parallel. Take your hands behind your head and just lift your head up a little bit and look down at your knees. This one's a harder one to manipulate where your kneecaps are. We can't do much for it, but we want to try to have that straight line, straight route from the fronts of your hips up through your thigh bones, over the center of your kneecaps, down the shin bones, out the second toes. We want to try to maintain that the whole time. Go ahead and rock your pelvis towards you. And right as you're starting to lift up into your bridge, that's when a lot of energy is traveling through those thighs and out those kneecaps and shooting across the room. Get your hips up nice and high, rib cage stays heavy, and then roll down. And keep reaching through from the hip, down the thighs, out the kneecaps. And then again. Now you can't see the alignment here, but pretend you can. We want those knees shooting out right over those second toes. Just try one or two more. Full extension in those hips. In other words, hips are up as high as they can go. No fold in the hip creases. And when you come down from this bridge, whichever one you're on, you can go ahead and stay down. Find a neutral spine position so your tailbone is heavy and your low back is light. We want to maintain that as we open the right leg open, right knee out to the side. And go nice and slow for the first few so you can really get a sense of how much rotation you can get in that, isolated in that hip joint before the pelvis wants to play along too. Then go ahead and bring the right knee up towards the ceiling, pointing straight up at the ceiling. Open your left knee off to the side. And then bring that left kneecap back so it's facing the ceiling. And then just go side to side. Couple more times. And next time both knees are pointing straight up at the ceiling, you can stop there. All right, roll over to your side. And we do this series every time in this class, and we usually do it lying on our bellies with our forehead on our hands. Today I'm going to bring you up into a hands and knees position. To do it, just making it a little bit more challenging, but you can absolutely still do it all the way down on the floor if you want. All right, so we are going to reach the right leg back and then don't lift it yet. Reach the right leg back, curl those right toes underneath so the right toes are still on the floor. And then I want you to press that right heel towards the wall behind you as much as you can. Just keep pressing, pressing, pressing. And then release. Just let the knee gently bend. And then once again, press that right heel back. And release. Now this time requires a little more effort. As you're pressing the heel back, I want you using those right quad muscles to pull the kneecap up the front of the thigh. So it feels like your kneecap is in the middle of a tug of war. Your heel's pulling it towards the wall behind you, and your quads are pulling it up towards your center. Keep going. One more time on this side. And then you can bring that right knee to the ground. Reach the left leg back, curl those toes under. And reach that left heel towards the wall behind you. And release. When you're ready, get those quads involved. They're trying to, once again, pull the kneecap up the front of the leg. If at any point you're up on hands and knees and you want to come down to the mat on your belly, that's fine too, because we'll be up here for a little bit. All right, bring that knee down to the floor. Give your wrists a quick little shake break. And then come on back down to hands and knees. Reach that right leg up. This time we will lift it up to about hip height, or as best as you can at hip height, trying to keep the pelvis level. So there's definitely going to be a little struggle between those two things. So pelvis level, leg as high as you can get it, and then point your toes. Open this right leg out to the side, and then squeeze it back in. Open it out to the side, squeeze it back in. Use your lower belly muscles to help support this neutral spine position. Try to let your shoulder blades hug together on your back, letting your spine soften down towards the floor a little bit. Out and in. All right, next time that right leg is in right underneath you, keep those toes pointed and paint little circles on the wall behind you with your toes. Reverse it. And then release, right knee to the floor. Give your wrists a shake break. And then we'll do the left side. All right, reach that left leg back long, lift it up. Try to get it to be about hip height. Point your toes, and then take that leg out to the side. Squeeze it back in right underneath you. Out and in. And next time that leg is in underneath you, keep those toes pointed, little circles. Reverse. And then rest. And go ahead and shake those wrists out. All right, let's come back up to standing and just check out what our knees are doing. So come back to where you were before, and then just glance down. Notice where your kneecaps are at. And then do that isometric thing, so you're either sliding away, sliding forward, sliding back, sliding in. Try to do whatever you need to do in order to get those kneecaps facing straight forward. And just feel what muscles are engaging and what muscles don't have to engage. And just hold that for 3 deep breaths. I'm having a hard time balancing here. And then you can let go and let your legs come back to normal. Thanks so much for joining me for Happy Knees today, everyone. It's always a pleasure to spend this time with you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.